What's up, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy. Happy Friday. I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to be doing Friday's feature cards. I almost thought I wasn't going to get this up for you guys, but I am, so I'm really excited about that. So I have a couple of things to talk to you guys about. As always, I'm going to try to be technologically advanced and do that thing where I like put cards on like one side of the screen. I don't know if this is going to work at all, but we're going to try it. Yeah, okay, so I have a couple of things to talk about. From different decks. First I'm going to talk about my modern deck. So yeah, a couple cards that I like changed up recently and stuff like that I want to talk to you guys about. First card that I added, which is kind of a card that's never really not bad in basically any matchup, is Ghost Quarter. This can cut a lot of people off from doing whatever it is they're doing. If you're playing against Tron and they have big scary lands, you're like, I'm gonna destroy them. One of my friends has an affinity deck and he runs one basic land, so it's really funny when I like play Ghost Quarter or I play Path to Exile, because basically it's like an exile creature and you don't get a basic land because you only run one. So yeah, Ghost Quarter is really, really good. It does the job. Yeah, it's a good card. Second card I really like, I'm actually cutting this down to 1 in the main board because it was a little bit clunky with 2 in there, because having 2 in your hand is kind of awkward if you don't have a graveyard. Murderous Cut. This card is being used a lot for good reason. It's basically a 1 mana, destroy target creature. And you exile things from your graveyard. It's really good. Murderous Cut. Does a lot of work. Another land that I really like, I would definitely say if you're playing Modern, I think these lands are really essential. I mean, of course, it like depends on your deck, but I don't know what these lands are called. I know like a lot of lands have names, but those are the lands that they either enter the battlefield tapped unless you control. I'm sorry. Yeah, unless you control X or X. So this one is obviously the white and black one for my Modern deck. But yeah, it's basically like it enters the battlefield tapped unless you control this. So basically you could do it like turn 1 it enters tapped, or like turn 2 it's like you have the other mana of your color or whatever. But yeah, these lands are really, really cool. I really like them. I 4-run them because they're just, I need black mana, and so it's a really good card. Another card I really like, actually I have a foil one of these, which makes me really happy, is Raise the Alarm. This is one of those cards that I had just recently put in the deck, actually, and I didn't realize quite how good this card is, because you basically, like, turn to end step, you turn 2 Raise the Alarm, and then you turn 3, like, Intangible Virtue, leave open mana for, like, Path or something, or, like, you do, like, a Thoughtseize or an Inquisition of Kozilek, and then it's, like, you just swung for 4 damage on the ground on turn 3. That's, like, pretty cool. But yeah, and then if you know, it's just a really good card. I really like Raise the Alarm a lot. And then, like I said, I have a foil. It's, like, really pretty. Alright, next card, I actually recently added this to my sideboard because I was talking to some people and he was like, I was talking to someone, he was like, you have a really bad burn matchup and you kind of need to like deal with that. So, yeah, I was like, okay, I need to fix that. So he's using Timely Reinforcements. Wow, this card does a lot of work. Basically, it's kind of one of those cards that I think it's very situational, which I'm really hesitant to run in the main board. I know that, like, I've seen, like, I've researched like black-white tokens like crazy. I've seen this card in a lot of people's deck lists. I've seen some in the main. I'm very hesitant about running in the main because it could depend on what you're playing against. If you're playing against like a deck that just doesn't run like that many creatures, and this card can be really, and they're not blowing up your stuff for whatever reason, this card is so useless, or if you're it's a very situational card, and I'd rather have those extra points of damage. This is why I'm sideboarding it in, and I have gotten this off, and it's been really, really helpful. You could be, like, away in terms of, like, 1 point of damage. It doesn't matter. You still gain 6 life. You could have 1 less creature. Doesn't matter. You gain 3 soldiers for 3 mana. It's just does a lot of work. It does a lot of different things, too, which I really like about the card. Alright, cool. So enough about my Modern deck. Now we're gonna switch on to my Tassiger EDH deck. So I just recently built this, and I'm still in the process of tweaking out and exchanging some cards because I'm not super happy with, like, a couple of them, but for the most part, there's a lot of really cool things in the deck. There's a lot of really cool things that are working, and I'm really excited about it. A couple of things that are working in the deck. Fade into Antiquity. I basically run this in every single one of my green EDH decks because this card just deals with, like, everything, and what I love about this card is that artifact enchantment removal is always a thing that you need to have in EDH, because there's going to be someone who's, even if you get rid of a soul ring, it's pretty relevant. Most of the time it's relevant. most of the time, unless it's like late game, in which case it's like 2 mana, it doesn't really matter, but it still could be relevant. And Fade into Antiquity just does a lot of work. It exiles it, and what I really like about it is the whole thing is I can get it back with Tasigur, and if they're running like a lot of artifacts and enchantments, if not, I can just delve it away. So this card is really good. I like it. Another card that is working that I'm so glad I put this into the deck is Nyx Weaver. Another really powerful card because it's like upkeep, you just mill yourself, and it's like beautiful. One of my friends has a black-green, oh my gosh, like Night Howler themed deck and runs this card, and it just does so much work. It's like, I really like it. I've yet to use the last ability where you exile this to return a target card from your graveyard to your hand, but I think it's really good if someone targets your graveyard in response, and you can just exile Nyx Weaver and get something. Get something back from it. So yeah, I really like this card. And I like how you have the option to choose from that. You don't have to do it at random chance. You get whatever you want. So that's really cool. Another card, yeah, again, great, artifact enchantment removal. I kind of didn't realize how much artifact enchantment removal I had until I had like all of my cards in my hand. I run like 5 in the deck or something, but I had like all of them in my hand at once. It was crazy. I was playing against a guy who was running an Ashling deck. It was really scary. It was really good. Lots of burn, lots of artifacts enchantments that I could destroy is a Reclamation Sage. Oh my gosh, there's a reason that this card is being played by, like, basically everyone in EDH who's running green. This Kai does so much work. It's like 3 mana for a 2/1 that blows up an artifact or enchantment is, like, really good. He's like a good body, he's a good blocker, really good ETB effect. My whole deck is basically based around ETB effects and bringing them back with Tasigur. Yeah, this card is, like, really good. I really like him a lot. Yeah, another card that I like, that is kind of never really not good is Sidisi, Undead Vizier. I actually have both Sidisis in my deck, and, they're both just so good. Like, okay, here's the thing about me and Magic, is that I love tutors. Like, if you're running black, you need to be running tutors because they're just so relevant. And if I wanted to go out and blow, like, a lot of money on demonic tutors, I would so do that. Like, if someone wants to buy me, like, 5 demonic tutors, you do my favorite person. It has to be, like, the one with Liliana on it, though, because I don't like the other one. I can be really picky about art sometimes. I'm really picky about that art. It needs to be the Divine vs. Demonic one, the one with Liliana on it. But anyways, I think it's from another thing, too. It's another one where they do the same art. But anyways, by the way, it did drop a little bit in price. I'm not gonna lie, I was really tempted to pick up one. That's my struggle as a Magic player, is not knowing if I should pick up really expensive cards. Okay, that's not the point. The point is that she is great. It's like, you exploit something, so something goes to your graveyard. Yes, you want to do that with Tasigur. You exploit something which goes to your graveyard, which you can bring back with Tasigur, which has an ETB effect, is, like, really awesome with Tasigur. Yeah, she does a lot of work. It's like 5 mana for 4/6 Death Touch that tutors. What? This card is amazing. Like, I have so many feels for this card. I love it. She's just great. If you're running black and you're in an EDH deck, you need to be running Sidisi. I don't care what you're running. You're running her. She's great. If not, you can exploit yourself if you don't have any other creatures. Okay, she's really good. Okay, this card got so much flack when he got released, and I was like, aw. And then when I saw him, I was like, you know, I'm gonna build the Sultai deck, I'm gonna put him in there. Jace the Living Guildpact gets so much hate, mainly because it's Jace and people just hate Jace. But Jace the Living Guildpact does a lot of work. I really like him. He's just really good. I mean, like, it was one of those things that, I played him, the first time I ever played the deck, I played him, and he got aggro. People were like, yeah, Jace needs to die, and it was, like, really interesting. Like, people are like, Jace Living Guildpact is so bad, and then when he's on my side of the field, it's like, nope, he needs to die. Yeah, Jace is really good. I think that every person who says that Jace Living Guildpact is bad is not familiar with, like, Sultai decks, because I think Sultai decks should run him because he's really good. I think that his bounce is really cool. I think that's like a really, not like an interesting thing to have in blue because blue does that, but I really like that. I've yet to use that, but I'm mainly using the +1, and then, yeah, his -8 is just like good. I mean, it's just like, if I'm gonna be like milling myself out a lot and it's like I can just recycle those cards into my deck, that's like really cool. So yes, I really like this card a lot. Jace, Living Guildpact, awesome. Okay, last deck I'm going to talk to you guys about is my Alesha deck. So it is Mardu, and yeah, I built this deck, and the deck, very interestingly, has a lot of ETB effects as well, but it's very, very different from Tasigur. Tasigur is graveyard-based, Alesha is graveyard-based, but it does very different things, and these are a couple cards that were really working in the deck. This card is really interesting, and I was very hesitant to put it in the deck, but I'm really glad I did. I'm totally gonna mess up this. I think it's Custodi Soulbinders. This card's really interesting. In an EDH matchup, when you're playing with, like, a lot of people and a lot of creatures, this card enters with, like, a lot of counters, and then you can always remove them and then put spirits that are flying onto the field. So yeah, this card's, like, really cool. I really like it. It can be a little bit situational, and I completely understand that. Maybe it's not the first thing that I necessarily bring back with Alesha, but, like, this card's, like, really cool. I really like it. Alright, second card. Whoa, this card is, like, really amazing. Very interestingly, when I built this deck, I was keeping in mind, a lot of, like a Brago deck, which blinks a lot of stuff, which obviously has a lot of ETB effect stuff, and I was thinking about that, and I was like, I wonder if this is a card that's used in people's Brago decks. Probably not, because I feel like it is an underplayed, underrated card, but, Stonehorn Dignitary, yeah, this card is very, very interesting. It's very similar to the card Blinding Angel, which is basically when it deals combat damage to a player, and that's really good if you have because you have flying, Blinding Angel is flying, but it's not so good if they have flying, but this is just when it enters the battlefield. They skip their combat phase. Oh my gosh, super relevant! And then if it dies to something and you bring it back with Alesha, and then you swing and then it enters and it does cool things. So yeah, card's really good. Okay, last card of this video that we're going to talk about is Elspeth, Sun's Champion. There is a reason why she was being played in Standard, and probably is still being played, well, not in Standard, but a reason why she's still being played in, I don't know if she's being played in anything right now, but Elspeth is really good. I actually had this in my token deck, or originally my modern deck, and I took it out because she's 6 mana, and that's very high for a modern deck. And I was bummed because I was like, I really love Elspeth, and it's not like me being like, oh, she's not good. It's just in a modern where it's a turn 4 format, I was like, I can't really afford to have a 6-drop. I need to have lower drops. So I unwillingly took her out, and she does a lot of really cool things. I actually ulted her, and I never realized how relevant her ult was, because you have just a bunch of dudes, and they get +2/+2 to flying. If they can't deal with that, they're, like, dead. Like, it's just, she's, like, really good. If not, she's kind of like a mini field wipe in one. And the thing that's great about her with Alesha that I realized is that things don't have power 4 or greater in this deck. Guess what? Because it's Alesha, and they have power 2 or less in this deck. So basically, Elspeth is really good. It board wipes everyone but you. I'm really happy that I put her in this deck, because she does so much work, and she's really good. Okay, guys, that's it. I feel like I've been talking for a long time. I kind of thought this was going to be short, and that didn't end up happening because I couldn't stop talking. But yeah, those are my Friday's feature cards. Let me know what cards have been your favorite as of late. These are cards from the past week that I've been like, wow, these are super awesome standout cards, and I wanted to talk to you guys about them. But yeah, talk to me in the comments, leave me things. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day/night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!